Red ball cricket is back after a successful Asia Cup 2025. We are back here, and it's going to be the two-match test series between India and West Indies to kickstart our new Test Championship. I have Orko with me. Orko, welcome to the show. It's India versus West Indies two-match test series. First one is being hosted at the Narendra Modi Stadium. The second one at the Arun Jaitley Stadium. Red ball cricket is back, isn't it?
Definitely, and especially after the kind of cricket we played in England, I think we were very much excited to see more of it. I mean, there was a time where I was pretty much annoyed with the fact that the cricket has ended because I felt that the series could have been longer. Though it was a five-test series, which is pretty grueling, but I still thought that the kind of cricket that was played, the kind of cricket we played, we are a team that are not used to, performing that well in England, but our recent times have certainly changed. So very proud of them and happy that this format is back.
Absolutely. And the first test is going to be played at the 2nd of October and the second one after that. But what about the squad of both the teams? Starting with India, and this is how the squad looks like. Shubman Gill is the captain. Yashasvi Jaiswal, KL Rahul are the openers. Sai Sudarshan is there. Devdutt Padikkal has got an opportunity here. Dhruv Jurel will lead the wicket-keeping duties alongside N. Jagadishan. Ravindra Jadeja is the vice-captain. Washington Sundar, Akshar Patel, Kuldeep Yadav are the spinners. Then you have Jasprit Bumrah, you have Nitish Kumar Reddy too, Mohammad Siraj and Prasidh Krishna. What about the Windies? And if you talk about the Windies, here is what the squad looks like. Roston Chase is the captain. Jomel Wadikan is the vice-captain. Kevlin Anderson, Ali Kathanaz. You have John Campbell, T. Chandrapal, Justin Greaves, Shai Hope, Tevin Imlach, Alzari Joseph, Brandon King, Anderson Phillip, Kerry Pieri, and Jaden Seal. And they did announce that Shamar Joseph were part of the squad. But before the series started itself, we've got an unfortunate news from West Indies that Shamar Joseph has been ruled out of the series because of an injury. Your thoughts on both the squads, starting with India?
Well, definitely, India is the stronger team, and it's pretty obvious that they're playing at home. That makes them even more stronger, and they've got full throttle because we thought that Bumrah would be rested, but he's in the mix as well. So, literally no gap for him. He'll come from the UAE, and within 4 or 5 days' time, he has to play this Test series. And I didn't really expect that. I think no one expected that when we talk about workload management, where we saw in England that he was rested in between tests. We did expect that maybe they would not go for him, but
matches in England, but he's ready to play two back-to-back in West Indies, or rather versus West Indies.
Versus West Indies. Exactly. That's pretty surprising. But again, that's what comes with the current think tank of Indian cricket. They're very unpredictable. You certainly think that it'll go one way, they do the other. But still, the results are coming, so we are no one to question. So I think it's good if he's playing, but I'm worried about his body and his fitness because, there are important tours coming up. We have the Australia tour, then the World Cup's up next year in T20. So I think keeping those in mind.
Just after that.
Exactly. The South Africa series is also pretty crucial. And I think we could have rested him in this series, but we don't know. Again, if in the middle they say that they'll not play him in the second test, or maybe not play him in the first test either, we don't know. But as of now, he's in the squad, so we have to consider him in the mix.
And do keep in mind what Ajit Agarkar said in the press conference when you talk about why not pick 16 or 17 member squad rather than a 15. And I understand in home conditions you always go to 15 member squad because you can anytime call in any other of the players. Abhimanyu Ishwaran has not been picked, but before I come to him, I would like to say about Jasprit Bumrah more. It doesn't mean that India do not have enough seamers out here. All of a sudden, out of the window, you've thrown away a proper seamer from Bengal. That is Mukesh Kumar. He could have easily played this test match if Akashdeep is unfit. Arshdeep Singh could have got a debut cap as well. Your thoughts? Was Jasprit Bumrah really necessary?
No, I don't think so. I mean, with full respect, to the opposition, I do know that West Indies do have some promising players. They give a hard time to Australia and Australia as well. But I still believe that we have enough artillery, especially playing at home, to upstage them with these. And we definitely didn't mandate playing Bumrah out here. And we had enough options from the domestics. As you said, Mukesh Kumar, he did well even in the home series last year as well. So he could have got a look in. Arshdeep Singh, I don't know why they hardly look at him in any format for that matter. Even in T20, he's our highest wicket taker. You can say that he was the spearhead of this attack if Bumrah doesn't play, but somehow he's not even in the scheme of things in that format. So it's pretty saddening that a bit of injustice, you can call it, is being done to people like Arshdeep, even Mukesh as well. But again, as we said, the results are coming and we cannot question them.
Exactly, results are coming and we cannot question them whatsoever. But your thoughts on what the team looks like? First of all, couple of exclusions from the side. No Karun Nair, no Abhimanyu Ishwaran. You definitely need to feel sad for the Bengal batter because he's leading India time and time again, but not being able to knock the door when you have others coming and getting opportunities after opportunities, getting debuts after debut right in front of him. I think if I've read a number, probably 10 to 12 players have made debut ahead of Abhimanyu Ishwaran, while Abhimanyu Ishwaran was part of the squad. Your thoughts on that? And even Karun Nair, does that close the door? No more chance to test cricket for Karun Nair?
Well, I think so. Karun Nair wouldn't definitely get any chances. And even if you look at Padikkal, even we talked about it before the India-England tour, he did well against England at home. If you remember when he played in that
Hmm,
tour, he was pretty good in the middle order. He's got some good prowess against spin these days. Earlier he used to struggle with spin, but now he has developed some good
correct.
short spare of the wicket, sweeps a bit better than he used to. And he had a pretty good IPL as well until he got injured for the RCB. So I think in local conditions, Padikkal has definitely proven a point or two, and to have an extra left-hander in the mix is definitely an asset. So I think it's good that they promoted him. And Karun, with due respect to his abilities in domestic cricket, I think in the England tour they did give him much more chances than expected, and he didn't live up to them. I agree he had played some one or two
Correct.
tough knocks, but that's not enough to keep you in an Indian
That's
team
not
because this
enough.
is a very
If you don't
competitive.
get to a half century at least, you will not go down as a good knocker. That's exactly what Ajit Agarkar mentioned in the press conference. You were just talking about one knock, but he has played four test matches. Out of four test matches, he has been given enough opportunity, just played one good knock. That doesn't define the class or that doesn't keep your spot because you always know in Indian cricket, there's always competition and another person is always there right on the corner, isn't it, Orko?
Absolutely, yeah. This is Indian cricket. It's not some other associate nation because here the standards are high. Even people who perform well don't get their chances. There are countless examples. Remember Manoj Tiwari? He hit a century
Exactly,
against
yeah.
this very side versus the West Indies. Never got to play again for India, and we often hear certain controversial statements being made by him on the captain who excluded him, would not want to name him.
Mhm.
I think there are countless examples in Indian cricket where people do well and they don't get their chance. Karun Nair has no
Exactly, yeah.
reason to cry foul because he did get his chances. Look at Abhimanyu Ishwaran; he didn't
Enough
even get that.
opportunities.
So,
Exactly,
so
yeah.
when you look at a player who hardly got a chance, I think if you've gotten 4 or 5 chances that two away from home and you couldn't live up to them as much as required, you have no reason to cry foul. So I think Karun Nair should very peacefully try to side himself and not put much hopes on how to get back to the team.
100%. It would be harsh if I don't mention the Indian captain playing at the Narendra Modi Stadium, a stadium where he loves batting and scores tons after tons in the IPL as well. But Narendra Modi Stadium is going to be hosting this test match. While if you take me back to the ping ball contest versus England that got swiped away in 2.5 days, this one was a different one. In the recently we played a test match versus Australia and it went down to the wire, went to 5 days. Your thoughts on what could be Narendra Modi's stadium's pitch because it's going to be scorching hot and the pitch might be a little bit on the slower side, but not expecting it to turn that much after day two, before day two rather. So your thoughts, patience is going to be key in this stadium.
Definitely, and West Indies do have certain players who can, play spin pretty well. But again, playing it against India would be a very difficult task.
Mm,
And we do know that Ahmedabad is a bit unpredictable. Sometimes it looks like a complete batting paradise, especially in the IPL. And we often see them in bilateral Test series become, a pretty much of a slow rank turner kind of a
correct.
pitch. Even we saw some English pundits, a few years back call it a sandpit and stuff. So I think that makes this pitch a bit more unpredictable. They definitely can make it the way they would want to, and because we are playing at home, definitely we would get the conditions that would suit us. So I think on the day the call has to be taken, we cannot totally preempt as to how the pitch would turn up too early. So I think you would expect it to be a rank turner or at least a pitch on the slower side. And West Indies do have to play out of their skins, otherwise it will be tough to get past them.
True that, and if you talk about, and with due respect to the opponent, but if you talk about West Indies, they're not looking good, and they're not playing good cricket, especially in the red ball. Orko, they got rattled by Australia in their own home soil. What would Roston Chase and his side do better, especially against the mighty Indians in Indian conditions?
Well, they have to certainly pick themselves up. You're professional cricketers, you play international cricket, and you are a team with history. You do know that West Indies has been in the pinnacle
100%.
of cricket in the past, and they should remember that they are not a team that has never known how to win. I think the current bunch of players don't really know how to win, but they can take some inspiration and spirit from the teams that were there in this particular country in the past. I think if they take certain amount of inspiration from them and try to upstage the opposition, not look at the magnanimous side of the opposition, but try to just play good cricket on their day, they can certainly pack a punch. And we would always hope, if you're watching it as a neutral, that such kind of cricket comes up. So that's what I would hope from West Indies. And Roshan Chase is an experienced customer, so I think he would certainly want to uplift the spirits of his side and hope that they give a good contest.
100%. He will definitely look to uplift his side, and they have a quality side. Are young, to be honest. Inexperience can be said. And the top of the order, you have Chandrapal there, the son of Shibnara and Chandrapal. He is there at the top of the order. He might get a go. Shai Hope, who has played in limited overs cricket, is there as probably the wicketkeeper batter in the side. Ali Kathanas is there. Brandon King is there. There you go. So many quality batters is there. It's you need to take responsibility, and one of the top four batters needs to score 100.
Definitely, and I think Shai Hope will be crucial because he has played in the Indian conditions many times in the past. He's done well, even in the IPL in limited opportunities. He was pretty good. So I think he has that class, that technique, that flair versus spin to thrive in these conditions. So he'll have to give value to his wicket and try to play the longer innings in both the tests.
Absolutely. And if you talk about the seam department, that's where I think West Indies is slightly ahead in terms of the seam department between India and West Indies. Alzari Joseph and Jaden Seal both are bowling outstanding, especially with the new ball in red ball cricket. On the other hand, you have Mohammad Siraj and Jasprit Bumrah. As you rightly said, 20th September, you had the Asia Cup final. After 4 days, Jasprit Bumrah might once again play in a test match, red ball cricket. Your thoughts on both this seam department? Mohammad Siraj rightly got a break.
Yeah, definitely. Siraj deserved a break. He had a stupendous series in England. I think he certainly deserved every bit of it. The accolades that he got, the praise that he got for his fight, especially in the final day of the last test. I think he deserved this break,
Every
and I'm happy
single
for him.
test match gave his 200%.
Absolutely, and you would love to have a player like him. You can call him like how Virat Kohli was in batting. He's someone similar in bowling. He gives us everything. No matter how he performs, at least his intent will always be sky high. So I think I'm happy for him, and I would hope that he continues this in this particular series as a spearhead. If you would, for example, take Bumrah out for 1 or 2 tests. So I think Siraj will have a role to play. And as you said about West Indies, I think their pace attack is very good. They are missing Shamar Joseph. They would have been very happy if he was around, but otherwise, Alzari Joseph with his steep bounce, that nagging short pitch deliveries that he's known for using his height. I think he'll be a pretty much difficult customer to negotiate for Indian batters. And Jaden Seals, I think I'm very much impressed with his quality of bowling. He can swing the ball both ways. He's a proper test match bowler, and he can be a very, very good prospect looking ahead in red ball cricket for this team. So I think if he has a good series, especially away from home, the confidence of the team would also rise.
It will definitely raise the confidence of the team India and West Indies, but India will be certainly put under pressure if the seamers live up to the expectations. Players to watch out for is what I'm heading towards, Orko. Let's take a look into that. 5 players to watch out for, three each, rather six. And I've gone for Yashasvi Jaiswal, Dhruv Jurel, and Akshar Patel for India, Roston Chase, Ali Athanas, and Jomel Warrikan for West Indies. Any other different picks from your end?
Well, Jaden Seal should be someone, as we have talked, because I do like the kind of bowling he has. He has a proper test match bowler in him. So he could, cause a bit of jitters, especially in the top order. Someone like KL Rahul would be tested definitely, but he has played in difficult conditions. So I think he would want to negotiate past him. I think Jaden Seals, if the conditions favor him in Ahmedabad, could be a handful. Roshan Chase, again, he's the captain. He adds a bit of value in the middle order and also some
And also
useful
with the
off
ball.
spin as well.
Correct.
Exactly, he can bowl some useful off spin. So I think he'll be a pretty nice customer to look at as well. So I think Shai Hope also with the bat he'll be crucial. He'll be the player who would perhaps anchor the innings for those longer durations. So I think West Indies do have a bunch of players, but they definitely have to stand up whenever required. In India, with Jaiswal, we know how he plays at home. He's an absolute beast when it comes to playing in India. Jurel, again, he's someone just like Padikkal we talked about last year when he got his chances, did well, especially when wickets were down, playing with the tail. He's done pretty well in Indian conditions. And Akshar Patel, again, in Ahmedabad, he's a very dangerous bowler, to look at, and also with his batting abilities versus West Indies, they have a lot of right-handers, so Akshar Patel would be a handful, especially in Ahmedabad.
Okay, fair enough. But what about the predicted playing 11? Let's take a look at that, Orko. For India, I've gone with KL Rahul, Yashasvi Jaiswal, Sai Sudarshan, Subman Gill, Ravindra Jadeja, Dhruv Jurel is the wicketkeeper, Washington Sundar, Akshar Patel, Kuldeep Yadav, Mohammad Siraj, and Jasprit Bumrah. And for West Indies, on the other hand, I've gone for John Campbell, T. Chandrapal, Brandon King, you have Roston Chase, Alec Athanas, Shai Hope is the wicketkeeper, Justin Greaves and Alzari Joseph are the two seamers, Jomel Verikan and Khari Piri are the two spinners. Your thoughts on that? Are India going with a spin heavy side?
Well, I think so because it's Ahmedabad, and we talked about unpredictability. I think they'll go spin heavy. The only question mark would be whether Bumrah would be rested in the first test or not. But if we take him into account, I think the team would largely stay the same, and so will West Indies because they don't really have plenty of options even on the bench. They lost Shamar Joseph, so I think this will largely be the side that West Indies puts up as well.
So, according to you, the same side for both the teams, spin heavy. According to you, for India, final question would be harsh, but I need to ask you: is it going to be 1-0 or is it going to be 0-1?
It'll be 1-0. I think India would win this. If you ask me a percentage, maybe 80-20 in favor of India, not giving 100-0, which would be harsh in West Indies. So I think 80-20 in favor of India.
18-20, 1-0 according to him, and no surprises with that. Narendra Modi Stadium, expecting some support, expecting at least 50% of the crowd to be filled because it's a huge stadium, no matter how big it looks, and even if it's 60,000, it will look small. But thank you so much. Thank you to all the viewers for watching this video. It's India versus West Indies, first test at the Narendra Modi Stadium. We are building India's smartest cricket community. Subscribe to become a part of it.